from BS and Beer Media. It's Top of the Bleachers with Jason and Tucker.
Smith coming right, trying to outrun the coverage, makes a cut, gets it. Oh, he's still going. Oh, look at that! He's going to score. He's got the ball.
Let's see what the guys are talking about today.
Yo. Welcome in the Top of the Bleachers. Happy Monday. Today's show, we're going to do some NFL draft, maybe, some NBA playoffs, maybe. And then I got a hot topic Twitter discussion I want to talk to you about. Get your thoughts on.
Okay.
Happy Monday, bro. What's up? How are you? All good in the hood?
All good in the hood. It's my day off, so got up and I got up around 8:30, which is pretty good for me. Of course, I didn't go to bed till about 2 a.m, but I got up about 8:30 and then went and got some coffee, milled around the house. I've done nothing productive today. I always like to do something productive on my day off. I take it back. I shaved my head.
Does that count?
I think it does because it's work.
Okay.
I trimmed the side of my beard up. I don't know if you can tell. I tried not to take too much off. Just enough. It was getting too much this way.
Yeah, I know. That's how mine
this way was outgrowing this way. I can't. So I trimmed the sides back a little bit.
That's how mine is. It's getting crazy.
And then
Ridiculous.
I took a nap. That was good.
Nice.
And that's about it, man. That is about all I've done today. It's been a pretty good day off, actually.
I work all day, but
my freaking neighbors decided that this was the day they were going to get out and like clean up their yards and stuff. And I want to go out there and yell at them and go, "Hey, this is some people's day off. Let's not be doing work, okay? Because you're making other people feel bad because your lawn's all weed-eated and looks pretty, and mine needs to be."
Yeah, I did that to my neighbor. He was out there. He was out there today trying to keep up with me. So
there's actually a funny video about that online where this guy is talking to his dad, and he said, "What? My neighbor cut his lawn. I can't believe he did that. Now I gotta go out there and cut mine."
Yeah, it's true. The pressure is true.
And then his son is like, "Is this a thing, Dad?" "Well, yeah, it's a thing." He said, "As soon as I cut mine, this guy beside me is going to be mad because he's going to have to cut his."
This is very true. The peer pressure is real.
Neighborhood living. If I lived out in the country, I'd have the worst looking lawn. My lawn would look like that lawn y'all had in Gasville. That thing would be growed up like you wouldn't believe, man.
Oh man. I had to work today, but I kept trying to leave my desk, and I was in the middle of answering an email. I'm like, all right, it's the last thing I'm going to do. And I had 7 more emails. I was like, what the heck is going on? So I had to go through all those, and I finally got off, and my phone's been blowing up, but I'm trying not to answer. So.
I stumbled across something this weekend, and I kind of want to bring it up, but I think it's going to be your debate that you want to do, your online debate. I think it's the same. I think we want to talk about the same thing.
Okay.
So
we talk about that if you want to. What you got?
It's the 100 gorilla thing. Is that what or 1 gorilla and 100 men? Is that what you want to talk about? Okay, first of all,
this blew up, man. It blew up everywhere, all over everywhere. It had over 100 million views. Like this one tweet, like it went totally viral. This tweet.
First of all, I think it shows how stupid people are. It also, some of the comments though were pretty funny because everybody was wanting to be the 97th or the 98th guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And all I can think in my head is if we're taking this gorilla down, everybody got to jump this guy at once. We got to jump on him like Agent Smith does the Neo, where all of them keep piling on and he has to do the Superman thing to get out of there. But yeah, the first guy, okay, is getting messed up. All right?
Yeah.
The first dude's getting messed up. And probably the 45th dude is probably getting messed
I
up.
think they're all getting messed up, man. Them things are strong. Oh my gosh.
Well, they're super strong. Now, crazy thing is that because of this stupid debate online, okay,
Yeah.
I went and did some monkey research and some ape research, okay? Now, gorillas are strong.
Yeah.
Compared to an orangutan, gorillas are not that strong.
Really?
Apparently-
Orangutans are stronger than
Apparently,
gorillas.
orangutans, and I watched a little documentary over this, or a little clip over it, and what I came with away most is that I say the word orangutan wrong. All right?
Orangutan.
It's just orangutan.
Orangutan. All right.
And my whole life I've been putting a G on it, and I don't know if it's because I'm from the South. I mean, it's spelled that way.
I didn't put a G on it, but I say it that way.
Yes.
But I don't put a G on. I didn't spell it with a G.
I don't think I've ever spelt it. Is it not spelled with a G? I've always pronounced it with a G.
I have no idea. You looked it up. I don't know.
Hey, Siri,
Or
spell orangutan. It does have a G, or no?
Yeah, but not the end.
Well, it's got two different spellings. There's one that ends with an N and one that ends with a G.
I'm not seeing the G one.
It says
It's got ORANGUTAN.
And then there is another. It says also ORANGUTANG.
Not seeing that one. Well, I was telling my wife about it. She hit me with, "Well, baboons got the strongest bite."
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah. So you don't want to mess with baboons either.
You don't want to mess with monkeys, period. There are stories of chimps that have turned on their owners and bit digits off, and freaking I know one story of a woman who got her jaw ripped off of her face by a chimp.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Not cool.
monkeys in general, now the animal that you really wouldn't want to mess with if you were a comparable size would be like an ant, because ants can they're like Superman. If you were the size of an ant, okay, they're like Superman. They can pick up 100 times their own body weight. Their jaws can, the jaw pressure that they have. I mean, they're this big, so I mean, they're not scary right now. But if you were also this big, they would be pretty scary.
Yeah, the comments had me rolling, dude. The comments. I was trying to find the original tweet so I could read some of these.
Oh man,
this is so funny, man. You see the one I see the picture of where the guy's walking.
Yes, yeah. He just
Oh,
but that's actually a play off an old joke about the bulls and everything.
oh my gosh, I was crying. I was literally crying, bro. It was so funny. I couldn't believe it.
I was amazed at how many people actually thought that 100 dudes could beat a gorilla.
I was too. I'm like, y'all are crazy.
Unless we're all going in with knives and guns, there's no way that we're whooping a gorilla. 100 of us ain't whooping a gorilla. And then you gotta have that leader in the group that says charge, and everybody follows, because you can't just do this one guy at a time. He'll just whoop all 100 dudes. It's got to be we got to do some multiple attacks, 20 at a time, 25 at a time.
Better hope you have some weapons at least, because I don't think it matters. I think he's gonna rip your legs off.
Then I heard I read one of the comments was talking about gorillas are actually herbivores and they're yeah, until you run out there and punch him in the face and then he ain't gonna be friendly no more.
Yeah, because I mean, think about how strong. Like I know how strong a bull is, right? I've been around bulls and stuff, and
Sure.
them things are so strong. And you figure gorilla, he could be stronger than that, dude. It'd be like fighting a bull. It's just not happening, bro. I tell you, except the bull has hands that could grab you.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. That's the thing. Like their grip strength and everything. By the time they grab a hold of you, you ain't getting loose. Like that arm is
Like
gone.
they would like one hit, they would like crush your skull. You know,
No,
just be like,
but they're
bam, you did.
they're gonna be removing like limbs as they go.
Oh my gosh. You see, there's the one where where Caesar's hugging the guy at the end of Planet of the Apes. He's hugging him before he gets off the woods. The guy says the gorilla set the last one free so he could tell everybody what happened.
Telling you, man. These people are nuts.
Gosh, oh man. Yeah, there's a lot of them that were like, yeah, I'm gonna wait till that 97th. I'll be the
It don't matter. It don't matter. It also
because if it gets to the 97th, dude, those guys are running. You kidding me?
It also depends on like what it could depend. Okay, it could depend on what 100 dudes you send in there. Okay?
This is true too. I thought about that.
So you send 100 Shaquille O'Neals in there, you might have a fighting chance. You know what I mean? Or 100 Big Shows, or
Unfortunately, there's only like 2 of those guys.
Yeah, exactly. You just send in 100 average dudes, you're gonna get 100 average deaths. Is what you
I know, man.
You need some Floyd Mayweathers and some Mike Tysons in there, and some.
Hey, now 100 Mike Tysons, they might have a chance.
They might have a shot. They might not. They bite his ear off.
Mike can bite something off. Whatever you get a hold of. Yeah, that was crazy, man. How much that blew up. That literally broke the internet this weekend. I was like, that's nuts. That's so nuts. Because there's this streamer that I watch sometimes, and one of his oldest arguments for years now has been who would win between a silverback and a grizzly bear.
Ooh.
He always puts that in his chat. Who would win this? Who would win this? You know what I mean? And they go back and forth. No way, gorilla win. And no, grizzly bear's got 9-inch nails and they're razor sharp. And all this. I mean, they go back and forth. You have to research it, but that'd be a good fight. Right?
Grizzly bear is definitely bigger. Like a full-grown grizzly is he's twice what a gorilla is. Okay, but gorillas are like muscle from like the tip of their head to their toes. They're like straight.
Those silverbacks are huge, man.
And I think the gorilla has the advantage just for the simple fact that he can grab. You know what I mean? Like
he's more athletic. You know what I mean? But man, I don't know, dude. A bear, she just rips flesh. Just I don't know. That'd be a good fight. But yeah, he's been talking about that for years and years since I've been watching him. That comes there up every so often. I have a big debate about it in his chat. So it's good stuff. Anyway,
I see a market for a new sport. You know how they have like dog fighting and cockfighting and everything? You're like super wealthy. You could do this for a movie or something. You're super wealthy and you just pit like fierce animals against each other. Tonight we got a grizzly bear. Put your money down against a gorilla.
Probably made a movie like that already, haven't they? Surely.
I don't know. They've made movies where like they were selling and eating exotic animals. I don't know if they've ever had one where they were fighting each other.
There's been plenty of dogfighting movies.
Oh yeah.
Any other crazy Twitterverse stories you had this weekend? Anything crazy?
No.
I don't think anything crazy happened.
No, not really. The Bills. I'm not exactly sure how he's associated with the Bills. It's like their GM or their he works for the Bills somehow, and he ended up calling into a podcast that they were having where they were complaining about, it was Bills fans who were complaining about they didn't pick up a wide receiver in the draft.
Okay.
You'd have to listen to the whole rant, but he calls in and he says, I don't understand you guys. So y'all were upset about Josh Allen. It worked. It wasn't going to, we were going to be terrible when Diggs left. We end up scoring the most points in the NFL last year. He's like, why is it, as fans, pretty much he was asking, I don't understand why you can't be happy. I don't. And so it wasn't the fact that he called into the show that I thought was crazy. I've thought this for a while. Why is it that even if you're an Alabama fan and you've won, a national championship, they start calling into Paul and start complaining about next year? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why aren't fans ever happy with the results?
I think because most of them think they know better. It's a bunch of them like that. 100%. They know more than the coach.
Sure.
They won't admit it. They'll say, "Oh no, I don't know as much as him." But you put a anonymous name on their thing and you put them online, they know everything. And if it's not, well, we need to get this guy and this guy. And if we don't get those two guys, coach is an idiot. He's an idiot. He needs to be fired. He's what's he doing? He's up there sleeping. He's not doing nothing. He's just wasting our time. We should have got so and so. There's people like that everywhere.
Well, even when the Hogs, and I'm gonna take Hog fans because I am a Hog fan, and I believe that we are some of the worst fans in the world. I mean, we're loyal. We show up to the games, we cheer and all that. But as far as like call-in shows, online chats, anything like that, we're terrible people. We are just we're terribly awful. And I've often wondered as a Hog fan, like we'll be, say you have a Houston Nut year or a Petrino year where we actually go to a BCS game and all that. You still have those guys online that it wasn't good enough, or next year we're going to suck, or, it's like, why? I guess it's just this whole online thing has started this whole, I don't know, trollverse, where people, since they're anonymous, they can just say whatever they want, and they can just, and lots of times I know things are said just to get under people's skins. Like, you don't actually believe that. You were just saying that because it's going to make somebody mad,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I watch sports to escape, relax, have some enjoyment in my life. I don't watch sports to get angry over, to lament about, what could have been, or I'm a Cowboys and a Hogs fan. You got to take your joy when you get it. Okay.
I don't know. You get pretty upset. I
get mad, but not to the point where I think like,
no.
Like everybody else. I mean, I think
not extreme.
I think the year after Sam won all the trophies, he had that one year where he pulled a Houston Nut where he came in and he achieved too much too soon, and he went in and he won all the trophies, and we did really well that year. The next year he was on the hot seat. They wanted to fire him. Last year they wanted him fired. There were people putting up billboards, which I think is probably the sleaziest thing you can do in the world. I mean, the man has a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know.
Be like your coworkers putting up a billboard on the way to your work, and it's like, oh, y'all need to fire this janitor. He's the worst janitor we ever had. And
bro, our good friend of ours came home from a ball game one night, and there was a for sale sign in his yard.
See, people are just.
This is high school, bro.
Yeah.
That happened. There's kids in the car and everything. You know what I mean? Whole family.
I feel like we have a whole large group of people out there that take their fandom way too far.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
Well, there's people that would say that we do. Like my wife thinks I'm crazy, and I don't watch as much as I could.
no, 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 no. I mean, if I wanted to make sports my life, you
Yeah.
know, I would live alone and
I
like
mean, I
freaking.
watch a lot of sports. Don't get me wrong. I do. I watch a lot of sports. I do. And my wife's right. I do watch a lot of sports, but there's guys that are a lot worse than me that are like, man. Some of these people that are in these online chats and stuff, dude, I don't know how they do anything else. Like it's a constant reply and answer, like all day from 6 in the morning till midnight. The same 10 to 20 dudes, just constantly. I'm like, what do you have a job? Like, do you drive anywhere? Do you eat? I mean, anything. Do you do anything except stare at your phone or stare on your, like what? I don't get that. I don't
I
get
don't I
that.
don't understand that kind of fandom. Like
I don't, I don't either.
I'll get up in the middle of the third quarter on a Sunday and go to church and not see the end of the ball game, you know,
Yeah.
or Lacey and I have plans and it coincides with the Razorback game. I will leave the
I've missed some games, yeah.
I will leave the TV and go do what it is that I've already said but you got guys that are like, oh heck no. You should have thought that the game was on.
I'm almost like that, but I give her a heads up all the time. I even asked her one time, "You want me to write this down for you?" Because there's a lot of stuff during the week. You got baseball game and a basketball game and a football game or something going on. I mean, there for a while there's all three things going on at the same time.
I
And
think
it was,
I think Lacey might get irritated at me during March. Like that's the month that she probably gets irritated with me the most. But I'm I just I am a fan, but it is not life to me. Like if you told me I would it's just like wrestling. Like when I was a
Mhm.
kid, wrestling was everything to me. I loved wrestling, man. Probably my favorite sports entertainment out there was wrestling.
Yeah,
Or excuse me, wrestling. All right,
brass.
not Olympic wrestling, but like wrestling. Okay. But life came along and I had to, move on with it.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of these guys, like you put too much time and effort into a team that doesn't even know that how much time and effort you put in. Like
Mhm.
if you decided tomorrow, if you're one of these guys that you show up to spring practice every year, you go, you do this, you do that, you're constantly on Twitter. If you quit tomorrow, the Razorbacks or whatever team that is not going to even realize it. They're not going to even realize that you quit.
Yeah. Well, maybe they don't care about that. I don't know. They just vicariously living through these kids, I guess. I don't know. I partly watch it for that, I guess. Part of it's a competition thing, you know, um, wanting to see the underdog win type stuff. I think I got into sports and stuff a lot when I was young because of the numbers and keeping score and stats and those kind of things kind of drew me in. I think I was interested in it anyway, but that kind of fueled it. I think
I
just my
got in.
personality.
I got into sports because I mean we were a sports family. Dad was a high school principal in a small school, so every sporting event he was at, um, it was either sit at home and watch TV or go to the gym or go to. And back in my day, we only had 3-4 channels, so it wasn't like we could just veg out in front of the TV with our PlayStation or whatever. And that's what got it was either sports or academia. And you know me, I don't enjoy academics, so it was sports for me.
I don't know. I don't know why I was. Nobody in my family is. I don't know. My aunt Gail, I think, kind of helped a
I
little bit with
think
that because they were into sports. I went to travel with them to some ball games and
your grandpa Charlie had a big effect on.
that too. That too. I watched my first football game with him. I remember asking him questions about what's a penalty? What is
Yeah.
that? I can remember asking him stuff like that. So yeah, definitely him too. But that again, I don't know, 10. No, I was 10 when he passed. So I guess I was pretty young, 7 or 8 probably.
Yeah, but those are the years where you're being formed though. Like
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
1 through 10 is more. I mean, you do more growth there mentally and everything than you probably do until you get to your 40s or 50s. You know, you start growing again mentally when you get to. I feel like when you get to your 40s and 50s, because you become a little bit wiser and you can look back and reflect, and you know that makes you wiser because you're like, oh, if I'd have done this, you know, my life, man, it might have gone a totally different way or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. In the moment, you can't see that.
No. But
You
from
just
like 1 to 10, you're pretty much being constructed as far as your personality and what
well,
you're.
they say I think 1 to 3 or something like that's when they say by the time you're 3,
3.
I think your basic personality,
Okay.
like if you're kind or not or what,
A
those kind of things.
sociopath or not. Yeah.
Yeah, those kind of
Yeah.
things. Where, oh gosh, yeah, depend on your
Yeah.
whole life.
It really does. It really does.
Um, what brought that up? What were we
I
talking about?
don't.
That brought that
I
up?
have fandom. Oh, the guy calling into the podcast.
No. Yeah, fandom is a crazy thing, and I it's easy to say Razorback fans are the worst because we're in that thing.
Mhm.
But if you join another one, they are just as crazy. They're just as wild.
Well,
I'm in
I think.
some that have, like I'm in the college basketball one that has everybody, all the
Yeah.
teams, all the conferences, all the schools. They have their own chat.
Mhm.
Okay, bro, there, it's never not someone talking in there, ever.
Well,
Like
I mean,
it's crazy.
I think the draft shows you how popular sports have become. Is like
Mm-hmm.
when you're willing, when 100,000 people are willing to go stand out in a parking lot in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and watch a television screen because they can't get close enough to actually see the stage or whatever. That I mean, you're drawing in some viewers when you. I
Yep.
mean, this is
You're
just
fans.
draft. It's not like they're going to do a skills competition or anything like that. You know,
They care about their team, man.
they do. They
It's
do.
crazy about them. Speaking of draft, I was gonna look at that right quick. I don't know if you saw some stuff here. One was you see where Shadur went and when he
Yeah.
went. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy, bro.
Uh,
And
I
then
I
then the
have
backlash of it's what's crazy too. Have you seen this out here?
the backlash of it.
Well, of course, the first thing, they're holding down some confident, black man. It's a racist thing. That was the first thing I saw, and I was like,
How can it
what?
be
It
racist?
can't be. I mean, the first guy I picked was what's that got to do with anything? It's just people, and then
I think.
there was all the rumors about his meetings and stuff. Like he would show up with his headphones on, playing music, and Dion said there's only 4 teams I'm going to allow him to go to. Came out and said that. I think the NFL was just like, you know what, screw you. You go where we tell you to go.
I don't. I think the quote that I heard come out of the draft, and I don't remember who said it, but it was a GM or somebody that didn't draft Shador, and of course they probably didn't put their name on it, but their main question was, how's he going to act when daddy ain't around? He's never been off daddy's tit. How's he going to act when daddy's not around?
He's not.
So does that mean daddy's going to be around the entire time?
It's like I told you, man. He's a social media superstar. That's what he was grown up to be. His dad taught him how to be that. Wear all the chains, act a certain way, be a certain way to get people to follow you and like you and all that stuff. His problem is that he's not that great on the football field. I mean, he's good, but I heard someone say today, you know what? If he wasn't Deion's kid, everybody'd be saying, yeah, he was a great 4-year college player.
Well, he didn't even play in one of the tougher conferences.
The other thing I saw was they said that Cam Ward, if these guys were in last year's draft, Cam Ward probably would have been the third ranked quarterback on the board, which Shadur would have been even lower than that. So
what I've learned out of this whole Shedeur Sanders thing is I really, really dislike that Eddie Munster looking guy, Mel Kiper. I really dislike this guy.
I know. Right?
Like, I didn't really have an opinion with him about him before, but now that this whole Shedeur thing has happened and how idiotic he acted at the draft, and he's still doing it on ESPN. I just saw him a little while ago giving everybody a grade for the draft. He's still, like, every other sentence is something about Shedeur. It just, like, all I can think is you Eddie Munster looking mother.
He said NFL's been grading quarterbacks wrong for 40 years. Like, this guy's picked every good quarterback. Jimmy Clausen was going to be the next coming of Brady. You know what I mean? Like, shut up. You don't get them right all the time either, bro. Come on.
And here's the thing. Like, let's say Shedeur never sees the field this year, and maybe gets into a couple games next year and gets annihilated or picked off, ends up not becoming anything. Mel Kiper is not going to go back and say, well, maybe I was wrong about Shedeur Sanders.
No, he's not. See, Will Levis was his guy last year.
Yeah.
He would die on that mountain for that guy. And he finally got his shot. And I don't know. He may not be done yet, but.
Well, he's not going to be in Tennessee anymore.
Listen to this. This is the Cleveland Browns quarterback room.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco.
Sure.
Massage Watson. Kenny Pickett. You remember Kenny Pickett? Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they picked Dylan Gabriel, the Oregon quarterback, and then they picked Shedeur.
Yeah.
That's quite the room of personalities there, dude.
Well,
you got every kind of person there is in that room right there. Ooh.
Well, I don't think it'll happen, but I hope that Shedeur and Deion have learned something from this. Okay. And he'll be a little less hands-on, and maybe Shedeur will work his butt off to prove everybody wrong. That's what I'd like to see. I'd love to see Shedeur Sanders come out and just light it up, and for Mel Kiper Jr. to get on there and freaking talk about how right he was. It would. I want good quarterback play in the NFL. I don't give a crap who's playing the position. I want good quarterback play in the NFL because it makes the product better, which makes the games better, which makes my enjoyment better.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen because Deion's never showed that he would do that, in the past. And Shedeur seems like a little carbon copy of his daddy. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Shedeur might end up playing baseball here in a couple of years. Who knows?
I feel bad for the kid too. The whole prank thing. Did you see that? Hear about that?
He wasn't the only one. They pulled it. This was like a little thing this year. Like, there were several guys that got pranked.
Let's check that. They said it was somebody from the Atlanta Falcons, their kid or something like that. Some guy goes to Ole Miss student.
What about
whatever?
What
Maybe
about What about where Jackson Dart went, going to New York? What do you think about his situation? And they picked up my running back.
Yeah, they got Joe Scatterboot from.
Yeah, I know it, man. I ain't getting me no damn Scatterboot jersey. I can tell you that much.
I don't know. I wish Dart would have gone somewhere else. I just don't trust the Giants office.
The whole thing that ticks me off about the Scatterboot thing is I was like a huge proponent of him in college, talked about him every week, told y'all, watch out for these Arizona Sun Devils. They were going to be good. I ended up being right. And now I got to root against the kid when he goes to the NFL. I hate him. I hope he does terrible.
Nah, you're going to root for him anyway, probably.
And when he runs over Micah Parsons and scores a touchdown, I'm going to be like, I told you.
Well, you might not root for him when he plays the Cowboys, but anytime else, you know what I mean?
I will not root for him, man. If you wear a Giants jersey, I ain't rooting for you. The last Giant I ever rooted for was LT. That was the last Giant I ever rooted for.
What'd you think about did you see the Cowboys draft? Did you look at all the players?
I did look at the Cowboys draft. I'm decently happy with it. I think they got B minus. I think they did pretty good. They addressed some needs.
I saw a grade thing a while ago. I forget who put it out.
Oh, Mel Kiper's got his out.
I don't care about Mel.
He gave the Cleveland Browns an A+.
Okay, here we go. So this I guess is from the NFL game day page. They gave the Arizona Cardinals an A-.
Really?
And wait, hang on, they're not in order. Hold up. So there's several teams got this. What? Everybody can't get A's and B's. Come on, man.
Mel had the Atlanta Falcons and the Cincinnati Bengals as C's. And that was his lowest grade, was a C.
This guy only had A's and B's. Like, come on, man. What? Get out of here.
I honestly believe that you can't honestly grade this draft until next year's draft.
Mel Kiper gave the Cleveland Browns an A+. Like, come on. We're going to go on this? Come on. He gave him an A+ because of Shador. Come on.
Yeah. Well, he even said on ESPN right there, whoever picked Shador was going to get an A+. He already said that. That's how in love he is with this Shador Sanders.
Such biased bullcrap, dude.
I don't know how it makes me wonder, going into the draft, if Dion wasn't slipping Mel Kiper Jr. a little bit of cash under the table. Yeah. And it didn't work out for Dion. And now Mel Kiper Jr. is covering his butt by still talking about Shador Sanders.
Okay, I'm looking at the Browns draft, and actually it's not that bad.
No, they did pretty good. But they would have done well without drafting Shador.
They would have, because he's definitely, they got that Sampson kid that led the SEC in rushing.
Yeah.
They got Judkins kid from Ohio State. That guy's a beast. That Mason Graham kid I was telling you about, I think he's going to be good.
Did you hear the story about Abdul Carter?
His mom?
For the Giants.
Yeah.
Abdul Carter. He freaking, I guess he called LT or something and asked him if he could have his 56.
No.
Yeah.
What?
And LT was like, no.
Hell no, you can't. What? Get out of here. I saw Warren Moon did the same thing. He said yes.
Yeah, well, Warren Moon didn't even ask. Warren Moon came in and gave him the jersey or whatever, which if they do that, that's awesome. I think no,
man. I ain't giving a rookie nothing.
Well, I get it if you're trying to, motivate the kid and be like, here you go, man. If you're going to wear this, though, you got to live up to it or whatever. But to actually call and ask a Hall of Famer, hey, can I have your number that's been retired? Okay, because that's how freaking good you were. They retired your number.
Yeah.
I totally get LT saying, no, kid.
No, man. LT, what? No. It's only
And then
156.
I can't remember what NFL player said it, but I listened to an NFL player talk about it. And he said, I would, as an NFL player, I would much rather go out and pick my own number and make it into something instead of trying to take somebody else's number and make it mine.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Shawn Michaels thing. Shawn Michaels was talking to Chris Jericho one time in the ring. Best line ever. He said, your entire career, you've been trying to be, Shawn Michaels. He said, there's only one Shawn Michaels. He said, I can't remember. Now I can't remember exactly how he said it. But it's like, you need to become the best Chris Jericho. I am the best Shawn Michaels. There's not another one of me.
Yeah.
It's the same argument can be made for Michael and LeBron. Like, why does one have to be better than the other? Like, they're both great on their own, Yeah. It's like, oh, I don't eat anything but ketchup. Oh man, you're an idiot. Mustard's better. They're good on their own, by themselves or together. It works out, man.
Awesome.
And I think the whole GOAT thing, I think that should be broke down into eras because they didn't play against each other. So how can you really compare them? LeBron didn't play in the 80s and 90s where they were more physical. Jordan didn't play in LeBron's era where all they do is shoot threes. It was totally different basketball. Totally different. And it's just like Mike didn't play against Wilt back when, there was 2 black guys in the league,
Yeah. It's a lot different. Each generation, each decade really is completely different.
Oh, just as far as like the training, just imagine how far along the training and everything goes. Watch this thing on ESPN one time about the Arkansas basketball team's got this shot thing called NOAA.
Yeah.
It tracks their shot, their arc, all that stuff. It tracks everything.
Well, it ain't working very good the last few years. I think they may need to throw that thing away.
Well, just imagine if somebody like Mike or Reggie Miller or somebody like that would have had that kind of technology and could have got better at their shot.
It makes a certain sound or something when you get to do the perfect height and all that stuff. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And that's just one thing. We're not even talking about like physical training and how far like bigger, faster, stronger has gone.
Yeah, I don't know. What about nutrition though?
Nutrition, yeah.
I don't know. Food's kind of gotten worse.
It has, but what we know about nutrition has gotten more complete. So you can take somebody like Tom Brady, who went on his crazy TB12 thing, but it worked. It works.
Yeah.
And he has to deny himself a lot. Like I heard him say one time, like he hasn't had real ice cream and like his whole professional career, he had never had real ice cream. He had like avocado ice cream or something like that, some sort of
poor bastard.
Yes, exactly. Like you got to sacrifice things.
Makes me want to send you some ice cream.
Yeah. So, I mean, nutrition, training, all that stuff, technology has all come so far. Like these guys go to the NFL. Imagine Dan Hampton going to the sideline and picking up a tablet and being able to see what the guy across from him has been doing or how they've been running the ball or whatever. Yep. Dan Hampton didn't have that kind of crap, and he was still a stud,
True. That is true. The whole video thing, being able to watch stuff live like that's crazy. Like even
you imagine Joe Montana, how good Joe Montana or Steve Young or some of them older guys would have been if they could have went to the sideline and like looked at a tablet and saw what the defenses were doing.
Well, they had the old still pictures.
Yeah, they had the still pictures. They had the telephone up to the booth so the guy could describe it to him.
Yeah,
man.
That is different for sure.
Yeah.
Totally different.
So I think the whole GOAT thing is kind of silly, I mean, it's a fun conversation, but it's
It's too many goats, if you ask me. They say everybody's a goat. He's the goat. Yeah, he's the goat.
Well, first of all, if you claim to be the goat, you are not the goat. Okay, you cannot self-claim goat status. That has to be thrust upon you. Okay.
Okay.
I think that's an unwritten rule, don't you think?
Well, I mean, it should be. There needs to be some humble there.
Well, you can't. I don't think you can be the goat unless you've got some humility, right?
No, that's not true. Because some of these guys have egomaniacs, bro. Michael Jordan's an egomaniac for sure. Or he was. He's playing.
I don't know if it. Well, yeah, his ego is big. You're right, but
absolutely.
It was the thing that he did to get himself up for ball games that I've heard guys say that he would make stuff up just to get mad to go out and play basketball.
Yeah.
Like Chuck Daly one time didn't come over and shake his hand in a restaurant, before a game. And Chuck Daly, probably didn't want to bother him. He was out with dinner and got to play him the next day. Probably didn't want to bother him. And he used that as motivation to go out and whoop the Pistons. It just, I don't know. They're wired different. Those guys are just wired different.
No, I wish the Magic would get some of that because
that was tough, dude. That was tough.
It's
you were in the ball game all the way till the end.
We just don't have enough shooting. It's the same thing as last year. We don't have anybody that can shoot, and that's what the game is today. Shooting threes. Got to hit them threes. Celtics are ridiculous, man.
I think you would have a real shot at pushing this to 7 games if you would have had Suggs. If you would have had Suggs going in,
We're definitely missing him. You know what we need? We need Walter Clayton Jr. is what we need. We need him bad, man.
It was painful to watch, man. But
problem is we don't have a pick till 16.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that can change or not because they haven't done the draft lottery or whatever yet, but this is after the lottery, so I think it's set now. But the draft I was looking at was 16, and I was like, man.
You can move up. I mean, is this draft going to be that great though in shooters?
I don't know about that. Well, Walter Clayton Jr., man, that's what I was saying. We need point guard and move Suggs back to the 2, and then you got Franz and Paulo playing the 4s, and then we need a center.
What about that kid? What about that kid at Texas? What if you picked him up? Is he too much like Banchero?
Well, he is like a 2 guard. That would help. We need a guard. We need either point guard or 2 guard.
I can't remember that kid's name from Texas, but man, is he good?
Trey
Johnson.
Yeah.
Trey Johnson. Man, that kid's good, man.
Yeah, he is good. Yeah, the Magic are struggle, man.
Plus, I don't know what's coming out from overseas. You might have a couple of good shooters coming from overseas. I remember last year, like half the first round was from France. So might be a chance you pick up another Franz or somebody like that ends up being a good shooter.
Could be. I don't know who they're going to get. No tellings. I want them to get Walter, though. That's what I want.
I thought the NBA playoffs have been pretty good so far, man. I'm actually kind of impressed. The refs have been letting them play super physical.
Luka.
He's a traffic cone.
He doesn't even try on defense, bro.
That's not true. That is not true. I watched him the other night get stripped of the basketball at the 28-foot mark, run the length of the court, and miss trying to block the guy on the other end. But he did run all the way from the 28-foot mark to the goal, even slapped the backboard. But
the way he closes out on a 3 is just like, then he'll walk towards them. Just stands where he's at. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, come on. Try. At least try. I mean, even if they dribble around you or whatever. At least you're trying. I mean, yeah. Just I'm
Well,
gonna play
I
offense
think
only. That's it.
I think it's one of the reasons why he won't be in the conversation as the GOAT one of these days. Is because he doesn't play defense. If you look at the GOATs, whoever they are, they play deep. Well, I mean, unless you're talking about football, because you only play one side of the ball there. But in basketball, the GOATs play both ends of the ball. Okay, Magic, Bird, LeBron, Kobe, Mike. They all played on the defensive end of the ball, and we're good on the defensive end of the ball.
Magic might be suspect, but I'll give you the rest of them.
Magic you got to consider Magic was twice the size of most of the guys that he was guarding. I mean, the fact that he stayed with them is pretty impressive.
He's a lot bigger than them.
Yeah, we didn't back in them days. Like your point guard was usually something like 6'2", 6'1", maybe 5 something. You know,
John Stockton,
Jeff Hornacek, those kinds of guys. Mark Price. Remember how small Mark Price was? He's a little bitty guy.
Kevin Jones,
Johnson. For some reason, we cannot get Johnson today. It was Trey Johnson and Kevin Johnson. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what's on tonight. What's the games tonight?
I was gonna look, and then we got to talking about something else.
Let's see. Okay, Cleveland and Miami, and Houston and Golden State. That's the 2 on tonight.
What's the Cleveland Miami series at?
Cleveland's up 3-0.
See, that's kind of what I figured.
Yeah, Miami's not very good since they got rid of
Dude,
Butler.
did you see the end of the LA Clipper Denver Nugget game?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, man, that was awesome. That was
pretty cool. Yeah. Aaron
Plus, for some reason,
that was close.
For some reason, I'm rooting against the LA Clippers. I don't know why. I have no idea why I'm rooting against them.
I found myself rooting for Denver too. I don't know why. I don't know. That was close. Did you see how close that was? Like they
yes. Dude, once it's in the cylinder, does it matter if his hands are still on it or not?
I don't know. I don't know all the rules, but you could see it just
boom.
It's like, oh my gosh. And then a lot of people are like, no, it was no good. You could plainly see it was no good.
But those are the kinds of endings to ball games you're looking for when you're watching a game and you don't have a dog in the fight. Like you're just watching for a good game.
What happened at the end of the Knicks game?
I don't know.
The officials had to admit they were wrong.
Oh, I can't remember who it is. They kicked it out for a 3-pointer in the corner, and they had a chance to win with this 3-pointer, and they put it up, and the guy pretty much runs him over. Okay, I mean, pretty much runs the dude over in the corner, and they call no foul in the ball game, and everybody's throwing a fit. I think they might have even reviewed it and said no foul or something like that. I can't remember. But then the NBA does what they always do. They wait till the next day and comes out and says, oh, we were wrong. Well, that doesn't help my team out any, does it?
Yeah, no. So I guess if it would have been called, he would have gotten 3 free throws.
Yeah. And it would have either tied.
No. Oh, no, the guy's name. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
Wait a minute. Crew chief David Guthrie told pool reporters that officials should have called a foul. That's my brother.
Way to go, David. Appreciate that. Actually, I was
back with the family. We should have known.
Yeah. Actually, the Knicks are another team that I end up rooting against, and I think it's because of the old days with John Starks and Patrick Ewing. Yeah. I just cannot root for the Knicks. I can't do it, man. Maybe if they were playing Philadelphia, just because I dislike Joel Embiid that much, but they didn't even make the playoffs, did they?
I don't think
I know. Hard to make the playoffs when your superstar only plays every other night.
True. Yeah. Cleveland probably closed this one out tonight, and then Houston and Golden State. It's been good. Curry had to have a really good game to get the win the other night.
Yeah, Golden State's one of those teams. Like I like everybody on the team except for one dude, and I wish somebody would punch that dude in the face every trip down the floor.
Who said?
Draymond. I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, I don't like him either, really.
He got a rebound the other night, and takes off like a bat out of hell to the other end. Seen him do it a million times. Gets to the 28-foot mark, dribbles it off his foot, and it goes out of bounds. And then he turns around and starts yelling at a teammate. I'm like, what? You got the like nobody else touched the ball. Why are you upset at somebody else?
Yeah, and then we had some bad news today too. Dame Lillard tore his Achilles.
Okay.
Did you see that?
I saw the non-contact play, and I figured it was an Achilles because, I mean, usually when a guy goes down like that, it like his foot never really twists or anything like, so I didn't figure it was an ankle. Yeah. I thought maybe they might get lucky and it might be like a groin or something like that. But no, I kind of figured it was his Achilles.
No, Achilles.
And I feel like this
35, so they're afraid he might be done.
Do you feel like there's more of this than there used to be? Like in the 80s, the only person I can really remember tearing their Achilles was Dominique Wilkins. That's like the only guy that I can remember doing it. And now it's like, I won't say it's commonplace, but it seems like every year we have like one or two guys that end up popping.
It seems like more like major injuries than there used to be. Seems like tearing an Achilles or something. Like it used to be knees. That was knees was always the thing. That was everybody's always hurting their knees. But yeah, Achilles seems to be. I don't know. I can't remember.
It makes me
didn't hear about it back then. I don't know.
It makes me wonder if it's something that they do now that maybe they didn't do then, like some sort of training or
probably overtraining. I mean, that's
overtraining, maybe.
Yeah, I guess that's probably part of it. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it happens a lot more.
I mean, with him, he's 35 years old. Just think how many games this dude has played and how many times he's jumped and run and all this stuff and trained. And I mean, your body just breaks down after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not everybody's. You know what I mean? Like there are those guys like Vince Carter, 16 years. 17 years, no telling how many games he played, still jumping out of the gym. Maybe not getting as high as Vinsanity was back in the day, but still getting up there and dunking on people. Just like it's like some guys just, I don't know, maybe they're just put together better genes, maybe, who knows?
Probably, yeah, that's probably part of it. Probably part of their raising. It always goes back to your racing.
It seems to.
All right, man. Well,
you want to talk about the Hogs dropping series to Florida?
Not really. That's the third one in a row, ain't it?
Third series?
Yeah.
No, we beat Little Rock in 2-game series.
That don't count.
Who did we have before that? Texas A&M ended up beating us.
Now we got to play Texas, right?
Now we got to play Texas. They're top of the league right now. They're looking really good.
Not looking really good, bro.
So I'm going to take some positivity out of this little slump.
Okay.
Call it a slump that we're in or whatever.
You might be the only one. So
we usually do this in the regionals. Okay. So maybe we're getting this out of our system now so that we don't do this in the regionals. That's how I'm going to take it. It's like getting a loss right before the playoffs start. And you're like, you hear fans say, "Oh, I think that was a good loss for us, though. That'll really wake us up." Okay, first of all, no loss is a good loss.
No.
Okay. There are no moral victories in football. I know basketball, sports in general, there are no moral victories. Okay.
I think there's some problems, there's some issues. You know what I mean? Our pitching is not what it has been. Like, even though our offense is better, like leading the nation or something in offense or something like that. But our pitching is not what it has been the last.
I
4 or
think
5
we
years.
got some good news when Cage Wood comes out and throws 3 good innings, good velocity. I think we're going to end up getting him back in the rotation, which I think is going to end up helping us out a lot.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I feel like
Mhm.
it's our middle relievers. I feel like our starting pitching is pretty strong. We got Big Cheese, we got Root, we got Wood coming back. Gackle's not been doing too bad when he gets in there. I like this Carter kid when he gets in. But our middle relief seems to be when we got to throw Bybee out there and we got to throw freaking Jimenez out there and we got to throw. It's like those. We need that part of our pitching bullpen to pick it up.
Mhm.
But again, the last ball game against Florida, we're down 4 runs. We put 3 on base. We got the tying run coming to the plate. I mean, we waited. We got all 5 of our runs in 1 inning, and then didn't do anything for the rest of the game until the last inning. And then we load the bases and we got a chance to tie it up. We don't come away tying it up or getting any runs in, but we put ourselves in a position where we could do that. And a lot of teams, they get to those 3 outs in the 9th inning and you're like, well, the game's over. With the Hogs, you got to keep watching because we'll throw a 5 or a 6 spot on you, if you give us a chance. So I still feel good about the team. I kind of like, I'm more comfortable as a Hog fan being, number 11, number 15, instead of number 1 all the time. So I think we'll be all right. I think we'll still end up with a regional and probably a super regional.
We'll see. See how it works out. I got to fix some pitching though. The offense has been really good, but
we kind of get I don't know what the word is, an advantage when it comes to the regionals and the super regionals because Baum Stadium is, one of the better stadiums in the country or whatever. So that always helps us out. And our team's usually pretty good. So I think we'll still end up with at least a regional. And who knows, man? It might do us some good not to get a regional or super regional. I mean, we've had it for the last 3-4 years and we don't do that well. Maybe we should go somewhere else and play. Maybe we would do better.
maybe we'll see. I don't know. Who'd you say they played? Missouri State?
Little Rock. They played Little Rock in the 2-game series, and then
No. I mean this week, tomorrow.
Oh, I
think
don't. Yeah, they played Missouri State in
Springfield.
Springfield because we were thinking about going to that game.
Yeah,
and then nothing worked out. Oh, it says it was canceled.
Oh,
so maybe it's a good thing we didn't go to that ball game.
I guess so.
I wonder why it got canceled.
I don't know. All right, man. Let's get out of here. And I'll probably catch you in the Discord later for some basketball stuff, maybe, and then I'll catch you tomorrow.
Are you kidding me? So they canceled the ball game due to forecasted thunderstorms. What world are we living in now? That we're gonna forecasted storms are gonna keep us from playing sports.
It might rain tomorrow, guys.
I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to live.
Oh my gosh,
this is ridiculous.
Oh Lordy! All right, I will catch you later, bro. Cheer up.
I'm cheery, man. I'm off work. I'm cheery. Everything's good.
All right. All right, man. I'll catch you later. Peace out.
Go Hogs.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.